I was driving around trying to find a parking spot for the shops when I spotted a cat. It looked like it was struggling, so I pulled over to get a closer look. He was dirty, and the fur on his back was heavily matted. From feeding him treats, I could feel he was missing teeth. I found some residents who told me he had been living outside for at least 5 years. No one knew where he came from. I asked if I could take him and find him a forever home. A little puzzled, they agreed. I popped to the car to get the carrier and trap. But by the time I got back, unbelievably, someone had put out a bucket of fried chicken. It was kind of them to feed the strays, but now he wouldn't be hungry enough to go in the trap. I wouldn't normally attempt to lift a cat into the carrier, but he seemed particularly calm. Damn, he moved out of reach. Time to set the trap. He walked away, but then had second thoughts.
Hey, beautiful. Beautiful.
I always get so nervous when trapping. You have one shot at it. If the door falls without trapping the cat, they can be scared off for good. After a brief standoff, he couldn't resist the smell of the cat food. I could feel his hesitation and knew I could push him in and drop the door before he could turn around. Got him. His life on the streets is over. Snow was forecast that night, and I was so pleased he wouldn't be sleeping outside.
Look at you there.
As I prepared to leave, he kneads and makes biscuits in the trap. He knew his time had come. He'd been saved.
Can't wait to give you a cuddle, precious.
I named him Picasso and set off for home. There were so many unanswered questions. Something was different about this street cat. Home now. I had to quickly set up the room as I wasn't expecting to be coming home with a cat that day.
There we go.
He was a calm little soul on the streets, and remained so.
How's that? You don't need to hide, do you?
I always pray I'll find a microchip. Uniting someone with their long-lost cat would be the best scenario. But nothing. I will never know his history. As soon as I can, I pat the strays whilst they're eating. They're so focused on food, even the scared cats allow it. It breaks down that initial barrier.
Precious. No, don't go. Come in, let's see if we can go like this.
I tested to see how friendly he was.
There we go. Look at this.
Tomorrow's makeover day. I'll give him a bath and remove all that matted fur. I settled him down on a heated bed for the night. Next morning, after what must have been his best night's sleep in years, it's time for clipping and a bath.
This one, aren't you?
He was scared of the sound of the clippers, so he kept them running in the background until he settled.
It won't be bad when we start. We just need to start.
The matting was so dense, but luckily the skin underneath was undamaged. He was a little diamond. We only met yesterday, and he trusted me to do all this.
Good boy. Come on, a little bit more patience,
Rather than use harsh cleansers, I'll let his stained fur grow out. I brushed him and put on a flea treatment. I find the street cats from this area tend not to have many, if any, fleas. I suppose fleas prefer a warm home. Night-night, another day over. I gave him a couple of days' break before bringing him to the vet. I had been feeding him in his carrier in preparation. I was so nervous. Will the vet find any issues? These cats have such a hard life on the streets. They ingest toxins, eat plastic bags that smell of food, eat out of bins, go through periods of starvation and freezing temperatures, and carry injuries from fighting or being kicked. Here we go. Vet time. Fingers crossed all goes well. Picasso had a list of problems. Bleeding from the nose caused by an upper respiratory infection, bloated belly, most of his teeth were missing, and he can't jump up because of arthritis. He was neutered, and unusually for a street cat, Picasso is shockingly 14 years old. That's 72 in human years. We get home with a recovery plan. Another long day for the boy. Sweet dreams. The next morning, I headed out for supplies, and as a bonus, the Waitrose cat is there. Always a good omen. On the way home, I spotted a skip. My experience in antiques told me this one looks interesting. Sure enough, I find a plate. I could tell it was early and unusual, worth investigating. It may just pay towards Picasso's vet bills. Back home with supplies, including unsalted sardines and mackerel to help his joints, sugar-free cat food to protect teeth, and other quality foods to build his strength and hide his antibiotics and supplement in. Home-cooked chicken is served.
Where's a good boy?
Because of his arthritis, he struggled to jump up, so I created steps around the house. I also encouraged him to play to help his joints, but unusually, he was just too scared of his toys. All except his catnip mouse. This gave his back legs a good workout. He liked to play by himself, maybe an insight into his past.
Just put it there.
I encouraged him to jump with treats, but he just lifted his paw. He did this when we first met, probably his way of begging on the streets. A couple of weeks later, though, there is improvement. He couldn't even jump on this chair when he arrived.
Good boy.
Still locked inside, he'd been watching the neighbourhood cats, particularly the beautiful princess. Now understood his physical condition and what type of forever home he would need, I sat down to design his adoption post, but then stopped to reflect on his previous life. I had been back to his old patch, putting up posters and asking if anyone knew of Picasso's owner. I had also searched lost and found websites, but no one was missing him. He had been living in a concrete jungle, eating scraps and out of bins. He was unable to hunt as he had arthritis and few teeth. Like the other street cats, for warmth and protection, he likely slept under car bonnets. It would have been engine oil on his back that initially caused the matting. He was unable to remove this because of his arthritis. In the area I found Picasso, Most male street cats struggle to make the age of 5. Picasso's time on the streets reflected this, and I was worried about his life expectancy. I scrapped his adoption post. The old boy will spend his autumn years with me. If we get months or years together, we'll enjoy every second. He's had plenty of rest and recovery. The time has now come to let him explore the outdoors, make friends, and get those joints moving. I hold his hand. He enjoyed a little play, an exploration. Taking in all the cat smells and establishing his patch. Princess appears and I lift Picasso to introduce them. Later he sees her on the fence. But tries to play it cool. It works. She approaches him. He finally gets his chance. Will she be Picasso's friend?
Oh no.
Has he blown it with his bungling antics? We finish our week with a celebratory picnic. Picasso might have scared off his love interest, but he enjoyed exploring the area whilst creating his patch. Another full week comes to a close. I was curious to see if he was preferring his new, healthy diet, so I headed back to the fried chicken shop that was closest to his old patch. I'll soon find out. Will he choose my home-cooked, organic, free-range chicken or his old staple, fried chicken? No hesitation.
Good boy. Good boy. Well, what about this? Look. Good boy. Good boy. Are you sure? Look.
My last concern was how he'd get along with the local tomcats, particularly Snoopy, who was younger and more capable than Picasso. A routine developed where Snoopy would whittle on Picasso's patch, then Picasso whittles on Snoopy's, and heads home feeling just great. I could tell it gave him purpose. He made allies with old boy Jasper from 2 doors up. And everything is feeling good between the boys on the block. But things are about to change. Madonna has arrived. Like, comment, subscribe.